get so Washington and the mosque liaison, public liaison, Ahmet Bayraktar. Ahmet, welcome everybody. Welcome everybody.
Thank you.
Morning.
Thanks for having
Good to be here.
We're gonna get going. Such a tight schedule, and you got great work for District 22, and the Turkish American community of the metropolitan area is around 25,000. In America, with American community, where the Turkish community is around 250,000, and the Maryland Turkish American community is very active in both culture, in both public service. And real quickly, if I could ask Ahmet to tell us a little bit about the community center activities. We know you're active in certain things like food drive and clothes drive. And just in about a minute or so, if you can tell us, please.
Sure. Thank you, Günay. Thank you for having me here, Mr. Senator, dear delegates. My name is Ahmet Bayraktar. I've been working with Turkish American Community Center last 2 years, and I greet you and our viewers by saying Assalamu alaikum. Peace and blessings be upon you all. May the peace and blessings of God upon you all. I pray that this COVID-19 pandemic is soon to be over with the vaccinations so that we can continue our lives. Let's keep our hope, belief, and trust, and support each other in this fatal pandemic. I like to, as Turkish American Community Center, known as Diyanet Center of America, or TACC DCA, we focus on religious, educational, and social services. So I like to focus on social services here more. Basically, it's pre-COVID-19 and after COVID-19. As Günay was saying that we are organizing food drive, clothing drive, milk distribution based on our ability. And then we were able to reach a large part of our congregation and the community. During the COVID-19, obviously things were a little difficult for us. So we were able to do partial programs, and the most important and the biggest one was through Ramadan. We prepared packages for the poor and needy, and we were able to reach about 200-300 needy families. So we actually prepared packages for them because the contact was not that easy at the time. So pick up and go style drive-through pickup and milk distribution program that we just launched. We helped the community. And I like to also mention a few words about our congregation. As Günay was saying, although it's Turkish American Community Center, but there is a significant Muslim population in District 22. And our mosque, our center, is actually embracing everyone. It's very multi-diverse from every ethnic background, as well as non-Muslims. Some of you visited us there. When things are back to normal, we would like to host you again at our center and then tell you a little bit more about it. And then we're open to any, cooperation, coordination to help the community, because this is the time we need each other. We need help, especially in our community. I also like to say that our facility is 17-acre. It's spacious. It consists of 5 buildings, mosque at the center. We also have cafeteria. It's a limited operation right now, just for the to-go orders. And we have a sports complex, a guest house, and a cultural center, and which consists of auditorium and different rental areas. So this is the basic description of our center, and I like to
thank you.
Give the word to Günay back. And
thank you very much, Ahmet. Starting with Senator Pinsky. Sir, and this will kind of be all the questions we have for everybody. First of all, what interested you in public service? Secondly, what are the challenges and opportunities for the residents of District 22, where the mosque is? Like Ahmed said, there's 5,000 congregation for the mosque, and it's a very diverse community. We support that diversity in solidarity. And thoughts for new immigrants. How do relatively new immigrants, Turkish Americans, how can we be more active? This is one of the expressions, TASCTV, that we're doing with you right now, for example. And how can DCA collaborate with District 22 leadership and the City Council even more during these challenging times?
Well, first of all, I want to thank TASC for being involved and being engaged. I had the opportunity to visit the Diyanet and on Iftar, the final day of Ramadan, a couple of years ago, and people were very welcoming. So thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for the work assisting the needy. For me personally, even since college, I've been fairly active and an activist fighting for social justice. And some years later, with a little maturity, I eventually thought that I could help through the electoral arena, through government, to systematically make changes to improve the quality of life for Marylanders. And I've tried to support and encourage and advocate for economic justice, social justice, and environmental justice. You know, we're a part-time legislature in Maryland. We're unlike some states in New York and California, unlike Congress. So we all generally have other jobs. So I guess my belief in helping others, improving the quality of life for others, is what drove me. In terms of what people can do, well, let me talk about the challenges. Clearly, under COVID, we're facing many challenges: unemployment, rental assistance, education challenges. Remote learning is very difficult. I've been an educator for over 40 years. It's not the same as in-person instruction. And particularly now with the positivity rate over 8%, they'd like to get it below 5%. So we face a lot of challenges, and a lot of children are going to be left further behind than they were. In terms of the role the Turkish Muslim community can play, obviously we're in unique times now. There's no person-to-person contact, but you know, if there are people who want to engage with their legislators from a certain community, from Lanham, from Hyattsville, from Greenbelt, they should try and set up a meeting with one of us, or if members are in other parts of the county or the state, they should gather 4 or 5 or 8 people and say, look, we have some concerns. We want to share them with you, and ask legislators where they stand on the issues. You know, we believe people should be accountable. We're in our position for 4 years. We don't own them. Every 4 years, the voters get to judge whether to return us. So, you know, we try to listen as clearly as possible to what people in the community think, feel, and need. So you have to be engaged. And the more engagement, the better it is for us, because then people are educated, following what's happening. And I think all of us believe accountability is fine, and we have to stand behind our votes, the policies we promote. And hopefully, we had day 1 yesterday. We have 89 more days. We're a part-time legislature, that we can have a COVID relief package to improve the quality of life as we're waiting for the extended vaccine use. So thank you for the invitation.
Senator Pinsky, thank you for joining us. I know you're in a rush to back to the Capitol. We wish you Godspeed, and we look forward to you visiting again at the Diyanet Center of America, Turkish American Community Center and Mosque, soon as it's safe. And
thank you.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you.
Thank you. Delegate Healey, please, same questions. We look forward to hearing your thoughts.
Well, I'm sorry that I can't stay. I just got an urgent phone call that I have to respond to. So I'm going to be very brief. You're in good hands with my colleagues. Senator Pinsky certainly laid out a lot of what we're dealing with. In the House of Delegates, we're a much larger body, so we have 141 members, and we have taken steps to create a place so that we can meet in two places at the same time and be connected in real time so that we can work together as one body, but and still stay separate through social distancing. It's a challenge. The COVID protocols that we're trying to follow in the legislature are different in the House and the Senate. The Senate is meeting every day. We are having pro forma meetings for the next few weeks, and we're doing committee work online. So our committees will be all meeting online, and you will be able to follow them live streamed or on YouTube afterwards through the General Assembly webpage, all of the bills. And we'll look forward to seeing as things develop. We have a very strong committee system, and each committee deals deeply in certain subject areas. I am the chair of a different kind of committee, the Rules Committee. I deal with the management of the business of the House of Delegates, so that late file bills don't overwhelm the committee system because we only have 90 days to process all the bills. This year, we don't know if we're going to be able to stay in session the whole time because of the threat of COVID. We don't know if there's going to be an outbreak in Annapolis or in one of our legislative houses, in the House or the Senate, and we may have to suspend what we're doing. So we're trying to get things done right away. We're having public hearings today, tomorrow, in the committees, and all the way through. So I'm sorry I can't answer all the questions in detail because I do have to get going, but I appreciate your being part of our community, and I do hope to get to visit the DNA Center at some time after COVID and get a good tour of everything and get to know the people there better. Thank you so very much.
Sure, I'll be there.
Thank you, Delegate Healey. And again, good luck with all your good work. And if anything we can do, let us know. We're ready to serve you.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry I have to go.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Delegate Williams, how are you doing?
I'm doing well this morning. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. Thank you. Delegate Williams, again, we're very grateful to your service in District 22. We are very grateful that you joined our program today. What got you interested in public service? What's your message for young Turkish Americans of Maryland?
Yeah. So I got involved in public service. Honestly, I just recently graduated from law school and was just wanting to become more engaged in my community, and was having a conversation with my mom about that, and wasn't 100% certain what I wanted to do. And so I just reached out honestly to a family friend of mine who was very politically engaged at the time, served on our local kind of Democratic Party. And I reached out to her and just expressed to her my want to get more involved in the community. And so she invited me to a local community event that was taking place or dealing with crime within Prince George's County. And from there, I got a chance to meet a number of different individuals, including our one of the former congressmen who used to represent our county, Albert Wynn, and our lead prosecutor at that time, Glenn Ivey, and a couple of other folks. And that's really kind of how I personally got involved. I know, for me, I actually just wanted to help good people get elected to office, to enact good policy, to really help with the issues that we see in our community, whether it's disparities in education, whether it's dealing with healthcare or dealing with affordable housing, and things like that. And so I always tell young people who are like, well, how can I get involved? One, think about the things that you're personally passionate about. The things that keep you awake at night are the things that you're concerned about, and reaching, Googling those topics, reaching out to people in your community who are working on those issues. I would say is always a really good start in kind of getting involved with something that you really care about, whether it's the environment or healthcare, or just criminal justice reform or whatever the case might be. So that's my advice, and that's a little bit about my story and how I got involved. So
Thanks, Nicole. The Anet Center of America, which we always also call the Turkish American Community Center and Mosque, is ready for all types of public service to District 22 and Prince George's. Would you have ideas for how much more active DCA could be during COVID? Obviously, worship has stopped, meaning from a health perspective, all activities have stopped. But for now, this organization can do a lot of great work.
Yeah, and you guys are already doing a lot of really great work in terms of, feeding, having food drives for people. I think continuing to do that is so extremely important. We have so many people, because of the global pandemic, who unfortunately lost their jobs because where they were working at had to shut down. A lot of people really hurting financially. I know I've participated in a couple of the food drives in the district, and just the amount of people who are showing up and the long lines that we're seeing. I mean, really, food hunger is a real issue for a number of individuals within our community. I think just also providing a place, and I know it's hard kind of in this COVID time, and post-COVID, obviously a place where people can come and, kind of gain more additional information. Right now, we're doing a lot of these things virtually. Gain more information about resources that they can utilize. I know the county has a rental program and other programs for small business owners and things like that they can go to through the county and through the state to help kind of help them during this very challenging time. And so I think also putting that information out to the members of your congregation and just the broader community as a whole would also be helpful in helping people trying to get through this challenging time. And then also, as we're rolling out the vaccine, how can people sign up and get the vaccine? Not being afraid to take the vaccine and helping people feel comfortable. I know that's an issue in a number of communities and cultures, just kind of being apprehensive about such things. And so, but we want to try to get to a space where we can open up as a community and have our businesses thriving again, and we can meet in person again and congregate again in our houses of worship. And so I think those are some of the things that the center can continue to do and expand upon.
Our community wants to know more about Black American history.
Mm-hmm.
A huge percentage of our congregation are Black American Muslims. And when we do have a basic understanding, new immigrants to America, Turkey has a deeper understanding, having led the movement in Washington, D.C. against segregation. Indeed, the ambassador's son was arrested and jailed in Maryland for being a white person who went to a black jazz bar. They said white people and black people should be separate. These are way back in the days. So the embassy responded by saying that they will host everybody equally. Then the U.S. Senate protested to the Turkish Republic and said, Black Americans cannot enter through the front doors of the embassy. They can enter through the back doors of the embassy. And then the ambassador responded to the Senate and said, no way. In our culture, in our heritage, everyone is welcome through the front door. But if there are senators who want to enter through the back door, they're welcome. So this is where we are as new immigrants. Definitely, the congregation wants to know more about Black American history, and when times get good again, where we are safe and healthy, we'd like to have programs at DCA, at the Turkish American community, in our huge amphitheater that I think, Ahmet, you can correct me, but it takes about 300 people. We can definitely do programs there to inform ourselves, educate ourselves on Black American history and American history in general.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that'll be super important, especially so folks who are new to the country have an understanding, I guess, of kind of the cultural nuances that take place. And also, especially, racism here in America isn't just solely directed towards, the African American community, and it can manifest itself, unfortunately, in a lot of different ways. And I get the sense from my friends who are immigrants, they get sometimes taken aback by it because sometimes they are, are on the receiving end of something and not really understanding culturally why they're being received the way that they're received. So I think that is super important.
Yes. Well, our community is also facing, unfortunately, severe hate crimes. One of our restaurants were rampaged in Los Angeles, and and because they were Turkish owners and they were Muslim, and good thing is the Department of Justice is taking it very seriously as a hate crime. And of all places, in Harvard University, there was an assault on a Turkish female professor of nuclear sciences visiting from MIT. We set up the Turkish Legal Defense Fund as a hotline forum for receiving hate crime reports. And then we hire lawyers in civil rights. We hire lawyers to represent the victims. So it's a strange time, and really hope things smooth out. I think we have to come to terms as America with issues that we keep ignoring. And the Turkish American community believes that one of those issues is social justice. It is very important that people are given opportunities to educate themselves, to seek a better life standard for themselves, that the system has to facilitate this too. So we're all working together. We are like relatively new immigrants. My parents came in 1955. I was born here, but the vast majority of Turkish Americans came in the 80s and 90s, both skilled labor as well as small business owners, and of course, many professionals. We're still trying to understand the system, work in the system, be productive members of American democracy. It's taking some time, and there's always challenges. But with good leaders such as yourselves, the delegates and the senator of District 22 in Maryland, for us it's a huge plus integrating with broader American society and enriching its diversity and its solidarity and diversity. So, Alonso's my buddy from a while now, a long time. Delegate Washington.
You can call me Alonso, man. It's all good.
Alonso, all right, man. You are amazing. First of all, I want to thank you for reaching out and bringing all the state legislative team together for this TASC program today. That was a huge accomplishment because everyone has such tough schedules. So we had 4 legislators, all from District 22. It was wonderful.
I figured, they didn't have much to do. They can just join us whenever. So it's all good.
Alonso, you have come to several Ramazan iftars at the Turkish American Community Center and Mosque. And together we learned what breakfast means, which means to break fast. So during Ramadan, after you starve all day and as you deprive yourself of certain amenities of life, you come to more terms with the essence within yourself of sacrifice and forgiveness, forgiving oneself too, which is very important, forgiving others. And so tell us a little bit about your iftar experiences, the DCA, and what's your good advice for young Turkish Americans of Maryland And we love you, dude. You are an amazing legislator, and we're thankful.
Thank you, and I just want to thank you all for having this event and allowing us to come on this platform to share our thoughts and our experiences. The Turkish American Community Center, when it was built, we were just elated about how first off how huge it is and the investment that the Turkish community has made in our community in Lanham. And people are just so excited to have it there, and it just fits with our community because our district is one of the most diverse districts in the state of Maryland. So, having you there is just so fitting. And so we're just so grateful that we have a true partner in developing and building our community and connecting our community. So thank you so much. Can you guys hear me clearly?
Yeah, I can hear perfectly.
Perfectly. Okay, cool.
Perfect.
And for me, I got involved in policy and politics because I believe that there's a place for government, for families that are in need, and that there's those social safety nets that a lot of people say that don't work, but like food assistance, like public housing. For me, I grew up in a family of homelessness and poverty, and so having those government assistance really helped me, and it got me to where I am today and got my family to where it is today, where we're no longer homeless and no longer in poverty. And so when people say that the government doesn't work or doesn't have a place, it really does. And it really can help so many different families if it's done correctly. And so I wanted to get involved in policy and in government, because I feel like it has a place. And I feel like if government actually worked well, we will see the benefits of it so that we can see more Alonso Washingtons, more Nicole Williams, more other folks. And so that people who can be, who can excel and go to college and, go into different careers, so I think that those things are really important. And as far as young people getting involved, I don't want you getting people think that the federal government is the only place where you should get involved. But it's the local and state level where we really need our folks to get involved. We have the Prince George's County Young Democrats of America. We also have other young groups that people can get involved in too in the Turkish community. And so there's so many things, and get involved with us. You can call us anytime to set up a meeting with us. We are your representatives at the Turkish American Community Center. We are your representatives. So you call us and we shall answer. If we don't answer, you should hold us accountable for not answering. And so I believe that we have that if anyone wants to get involved, we have so many food pantries that are happening right now, and so many people that need assistance. We have volunteering. I do a lot of giveaways, whether it's book bag giveaways or Christmas giveaways for families, holiday giveaways for families. And there's so many things that I think that our Turkish community, young people can get involved in that I would love to see them. Look, I got work right now that they can do if they want to do something. But I look forward to really meeting so many more of our young folks.
Alonso, our young people are always ready to help, whatever it is, especially during safer times, health-wise, to assist Nicole, the whole delegation team of District 2022. You said Christmas. As I understand from Islam, and when I was a kid, I learned about Islam. It includes and embraces all the religions, and Judaism, Christianity. And a really interesting fact about Christmas and Santa Claus is that Saint Nicholas was a cleric in Western Turkey way back. And he started the program, modern term program, but the practice, the tradition of giving anonymously. So there would be presents given by him to people, mostly needy people, in this village and in the region around him. And they would never know who it came from. And so at the essence of Christmas in the Christ Mass is to give and not to ask in return. And I think we at the Diyanet Center of America would love to honor that tradition and give it on Christmas. How we do it anonymously, we can work it out. But it could be a place where we give gifts and to the people of Lanham of the District 22, Prince George's County. So I wanted to add that every day with our interfaith and our intercultural dialogues, we learn how we can connect better. And definitely the spiritual realm, religion, worship is a good place to do that. Public service in a non-religious way is also a way to do that. Alonso, a little bit about immigrants. How do you see the future of Maryland and the United States? We're getting a new president soon, and we're thinking and I do some immigration work in my law firm, actually a lot of immigration work in my law firm, but we're looking at the laws. Do you see changes that can help immigrants feel more welcomed, be a more part of better, be more integrated, feel safer, healthier, and chase the American dream? We're all immigrants in the Turkish American community. And the Black American community's start in America is far less pleasant in the form of slavery. But the Black American community has empowered itself to be a leader in diversity, and that matters a lot to us immigrants.
Yeah, no, thanks for asking that question, Ganai. I'm the chief of federal policy for CASA, which is an immigrant rights organization. And so as the senator mentioned earlier, we're a part-time legislator. So, we have our part-time, we're being delegates or senators, and then our full-time jobs we have outside of that because we're a part-time legislator. But so my full-time job, I actually advocate on behalf of immigrants at the federal level. So working with senators, working with Congress, folks in the Congress, and also working with the federal administration to change the immigration policies that we currently exist. I think the first thing we can do is what we've done in November, which is remove this president from not having another four more years. That was the first step. The second step was trying to win a Senate, which was going to Georgia and winning Georgia and turning the Senate blue, so we can actually get some things done in the Congress, right? So we have 51 vote count in the U.S. Senate, so that's going to help us. And I think we're going to have the first Latino in Mr. Mayorkas, who's going to lead Department of Homeland Security, which I think is going to be a huge step in the right direction to really changing or reversing all of the over 170, I believe, actions that this administration has taken to really make it more difficult for people to immigrate to this country and become citizens here in America. So we working hand in hand with him to really make sure that we can overturn those executive actions, but also we've outlined key points that can make sure that we have access for folks to become citizens too. The one thing that we're working on is TPS, temporary protected status, and DED, and our DACA students, and as well as Dreamers. And so we feel like that bill can actually, those bills can change in the legislature through a reconciliation bill, hopefully in the next coming months. But this new president has outlined that he's gonna stop deportations for the next 100 days. In his first 100 days, he's gonna review everything, so we aren't deporting people anymore like we've done in the past. And he's gonna make sure that we have more accessible, more access again, so that immigrants can become citizens, and so that America is the place that people want to come to be able to have the real American dream. So we have a lot of work to do. This new president has a lot of work to do in the immigration space. The other day, he said that one of his number one priorities was immigration, which I was really proud to hear and see. That means we've gotten to him. So I'm really happy about that.
Good job on that. Good job all around. So, Ahmet, you have any asks from the delegates? I would like to add an ask. I asked the question, then I asked my own question.
Actually, it was a great conversation, and thank you, Delegate Washington and Williams. And actually, Mr. Washington said the thing. We are one email, one phone call away from you. So that was pretty good. We'll try to be more involved and cooperate if we can. And I was going to ask you, if things get back to normal during the Ramadan time, if possible, would you guys like to sponsor an iftar? I mean, it's a hot meal for as Günay said, could be dependent on the the COVID-19 statistics, I guess, up to 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 people. I mean, so it's a good hot meal for a lot of community members. Maybe we'll get to that when the time comes. We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we both look forward to that, actually. And yeah, that'd be great. And I've learned so much at those events, and so I really appreciate the invite and you and the community center reaching out to us and Günay reaching out to us and getting us involved. So thank you so much. Hey Günay, I'm gonna have to hop off because it's about 10 o'clock now for another meeting. But I appreciate it, and I'm sure Nicole has to too. But thank you for the opportunity so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, guys. Yeah.
May 2021 be more healthy, more happy, and prosperous for all of us.
Absolutely.
And the country. God bless you all.
All right.
Thank you. God bless you too.
Thank you, guys.